So I'm not sure if people just watch my content based on the asset or if they try to catch all my videos, but I talked about something earlier in my ADA video that is incredibly important for SHIB, incredibly important for the crypto market, a historic breakout that tends to lead us on these major runs in the market, which is where SHIB tends to perform its best. But Shiba Inu itself is also doing some very historic things here as well. In fact, this does include a new all-time high in something that is very essential for SHIB. We're going to talk about all that and more, including half a trillion Shiba Inu in 4 days. So if you guys are new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, hit that bell again. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So yesterday was a very important day for the crypto market. We bucked the overall trend. We did see the market run versus the stock market, which is great, which I'll get to in just a moment. But Shiba Inu itself printing another green daily candle. This is a very exciting sign. And in fact, if we zoom in here, we can see that Shiba Inu is again trying to continue that inverse head and shoulders. This could be a very exciting sign. This could be a good breakout for SHIB here. I'm not ready to say that, this is the moment that we moon or anything like that. But what is in fact very important and worth noting is what I talked about in my earlier ADA video. We in fact saw Bitcoin versus the US 500, the S&P 5, did in fact create this big breakout. And why this is so essential, why this is so important, is you can see, historically speaking, we have printed these breakouts time and time again where the crypto market runs opposite the stock market. And this is where we see some of our biggest moves across the space. You guys can see the most recent one was actually back here in the early part of November, latter part of October. We know that Shiba Inu was performing very well during that time. We take a look back here. You guys can see October of 2023. This is when the bull market began and SHIB started making some of its moves. In fact, there was one that I kind of missed talking about earlier today that actually happened from basically December into the early part of February, which is where SHIB was again prepping for this massive run. So we've seen this take place time and time again, and it has led us towards some historic movement in terms of price. And remember, the biggest thing we're waiting for in this space is a sentiment shift. We're waiting for optimism to return, because that is when Shiba Inu and other meme coins tend to perform their best. And what we're starting to see is some of that optimism creep back in. First of all, we did in fact see, although it was an outflow day in terms of institutional money, BlackRock is kind of the big one I'm focused on here. BlackRock did not sell anything yesterday. Great sign. And yesterday could have been frankly an absolute shit show because the stock market was so bad. We're talking about trillions and trillions of dollars that has bled out of the stock market over the course of the week. It's been absolutely brutal. And unfortunately, crypto has dealt with some of that pain, some of that spillover, right? Some of that uncertainty. Now, Ethereum, on the other hand, Ethereum did in fact see some institutional inflows yesterday. Only I think Franklin Templeton was the lone addition yesterday, but you're starting to see this theme of massive unloading in terms of ETH really back off. Okay. You're seeing that on the institutional side. You're seeing that on the retail side as well here. Second of all, BTC is broken out currently above trend. That's a good sign. ETH continues to set this strong floor down here. I mean, this is all perfect. All right. It almost seems too perfect. Then you want to talk about perfect, talk about this total 3 retest. This is all assets outside of BTC and Ethereum. Perfect retest of our March highs, March of 2024. I better specify we're past March of 2025. So we are in the perfect spot for a major market rebound. And it's just a question of, do we continue to see this? All right. Do we see optimism start to creep in and start to launch the crypto market? That potential is there. What I have to say is that for SHIB, this has started off on a great note this month. In fact, the last 4 days have equated to about $500 billion Shiba Inu accumulated by whales. All right. So they're heavily buying right now. They're adding to their bags. And this has been their theme throughout 2025. They have been accumulating, helping defend price, trying to build this floor. And now SHIB seems to be setting a very distinct trend. You can feel the pivot taking place right here. And really what is helping this as well is, Shiba Inu is once again at a new all-time high in terms of holders. Yes, there have been some dips, some pullbacks here, some days where there's been overall fear in the crypto market that has caused some waves and caused SHIB price to go on a little bit of a drop, right? But you guys can see the distinct trend. And that's up and to the right. Even on the charts right here, guys, we're still seeing higher lows being set. This is the reversal, all right? This is the reversal that SHIB is trying to do. And again, I'm not saying that we're going to moon today or tomorrow or this weekend. We are actually coming into the weekend a little bit higher volume than we have over the past few weeks, which is a great sign. But we're starting to get past the loud stuff. We actually saw yesterday President Milei of Argentina and Donald Trump become the first two nations since these tariffs were announced that are actually agreeing to no tariffs and trade deals, right? So you may see this become a big wave that starts to sweep across the space, big trade deals that come out, international cooperation, a lot of exciting things that could propel the crypto market to some absolutely insane highs. There is more capital in the crypto market than ever. There's more interest in the crypto market than ever. And again, the big thing that'll move the markets even more is when retail starts to flood back into the space. They're not here right now. New retail's not paying attention too much, but they will over time, especially as the charts start to move. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. This is very exciting stuff. I'm trying to temper my expectations here. I understand that right now we're still kind of in the midst of the crap. We're still in the midst of the loud space, but I wouldn't be surprised if this starts to quiet down as April moves on and we start to actually attack some of these higher price levels. And that could mean some good movement for SHIB. So I appreciate you guys as always. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.